Hi, it is Wednesday evening, November the 21st, 2018. This would be the third week. I guess tomorrow would be starting the third week of NaNoWriMo. It has been a slow writing day. I got off to a slow start this morning. I wasn't able to write it all this afternoon because I had stuff to do. So I am still working to make my word count for the day. It's been a day of not a lot of inspiration today, unfortunately. Although, at the same time, I feel like I kind of know where I'm going for a rare time in this NaNoWriMo. I sort of feel like I have the scene sort of in my head. My characters are descending into a underground crypt, which feels like a very straightforward sort of a scene to write, which probably means it will end up sounding really boring at the end, but I'm not quite sure what my characters are going to find when they get to their destination under this crypt, though. I think I mentioned there was going to be some sort of dark ritual thing that they were going to have to break up somehow. But I don't quite know what that ritual is, why it's important, why they need to stop it. I don't know any of those things at this point. I just sort of have in my head this sort of set piece of this crypt, this graveyard, sort of almost like a gothic sort of a graveyard, and they enter this crypt, and which has like an underground staircase that leads down into these underground catacombs. I can sort of visualize all this happening in my head as sort of a tense, creepy sort of a scene. So yeah, that's what's going on with the writing today. I'm having some logistical issues with the writing here. You can probably see on the screen here that I wrote a little bit about it. I have my three characters descending into this crypt. They have one torch. And I was trying to think about, where do we hold this torch so that we can actually see without, blinding ourselves. And then I was thinking, well, one of these three is like a sneaky thief sort and would want to stay in the shadows. So then I was thinking, well, she'd probably want to go in front of the guy with the torch so that she can stay in the shadows. But then I was thinking, well, would there be more shadows in front of the torch or behind the torch? And so I got sort of off on a tangent trying to think about that. And I wrote a little bit about it here, that I just don't know which would be the right position for her. So that would be an area that I need to do future research for. Not that it really matters in the slightest, but it was just a thing that occurred to me as I was writing. It also occurred to me that if there was like all these cobwebs in this passage they're going through, would the torch like catch the cobwebs on fire? I don't know if spiderwebs actually burn. Would everything just sort of combust in this ancient, old, musty, stale passageway if somebody brings a torch in there? Those are some of the things that I think about sometimes when I'm writing these sorts of, medieval sort of stories. Another thing that I thought about So they got to the door of this crypt. It's like a mausoleum, like a stone building, basically, with the stone door, I'm imagining. And then I was thinking, well, how do you block a door in ancient times? Like, if you have a stone door to a crypt, how would a key work in that? How would a latching mechanism work in that? How does any of that work? I don't know. Those are sort of weird details that I think of sometimes as I'm writing. Like, I want to use this verb like he put the key in and turned the key and opened the door. Like, how does that mechanism work if it's a stone door? Would it like slide to the side? Would it slide down? Would it push open like a wooden door? And how would a lock even work in that situation? So those are some things that I think about sometimes, and I don't know the answers to any of those questions. Those would be situations where maybe under normal circumstances I would go to Wikipedia or the internet and just start Googling and spend like an hour trying to research this information. But the circumstances of my writing this year, basically I can't do any research while I'm writing because I'm just writing on the iPad, and I don't really, I guess technically I could switch over to Safari or something and do a search, but it would just be a pain. So I don't do any, I haven't been doing any kind of research like that during this NaNoWriMo this year, which I think is probably a good thing, because you can get stuck on going down these rabbit holes when you go do the research like that. You can just get stuck for hours searching for that and then find out that, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much to your story. I've lost what I was going to say. I was going to say something really important too. Oh my God. Oh man, it was really important. All right, so let me try to work my way back to what it was. It was another one. It's one of those sort of eureka revelations, I think, and I can't remember what it was now. Oh man. What a bummer. So I guess I'll just summarize the day's events. It was a day where I should have done more writing in the morning, but I can't remember why now, but I just didn't do the writing in the morning when I should have. And then I couldn't write in the afternoon because I went to my physical therapy appointment, which I think did help me. It's hard to tell just from the first visit, but I feel like they've kind of zeroed in on what the problem is. It's all muscular problems. I'm just my sitting position has been wrong it's now been wrong long enough that my body is just like, nope, you can't do that anymore. So now they're working on correcting that. And so I got all these exercises to do, which are surprisingly difficult. Like neck stretches and turning and bending and stretching, and they are quite difficult for me in my current state. But I think they are helping. Yeah, I can't think of what I was going to say. I just can't think of it. I'm so disappointed. It was a good thing too. It was something really really would have made this whole video worthwhile if I could remember just what it is. What was I talking? I was talking about our characters were going into the crypt. Then I started talking about the torch and the logistical problems. I don't really know what they're going to discover when they get into this crypt. I don't know. I don't know. It's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone now. So, I guess I will, leave it here on that giant cliffhanger. Perhaps I will think of it for next time and make a note of it. I'm so disappointed. Man, it was really... I was thinking of it earlier in this video, and then I thought, okay, well, I'll just say this other thing first, and then I'll get back to the main thing, and it's gone. Totally gone. Alright, well, I will leave off here. I need to do a bunch more writing tonight, so I will be working on that to stay on pace. And I guess I will be back tomorrow. See you later.